How's it going, Catalyst members? This is Austin. For some of you, you don't know me. You probably work out in the afternoon, or you work out in the morning and you just not recognizing my face because usually the mask is covering it. But if you know me, we talk about cooking. We talk about food. Just because I have that culinary background, whether it was just for fun or you guys were asking me what I cook. So we thought it'd be a good idea to kind of show you guys what a meal prep or a meal like for me is, so that way it can help you guys out. So today we're going to be going with a quick, simple meal, whether it's going to be your meal prep for a couple days or it's going to be something to feed the family tonight. So today we're going to go with a pan-seared chicken breast with a tomato ragu sauce. It just sounds fancy. All a ragu sauce is a tomato sauce with things inside of it, and then some quinoa and steamed vegetables. I know you're thinking, oh, steamed vegetables, that's kind of lame, but we're gonna add a little seasoning to it to kind of help it out just a bit. But first thing, we're gonna get our chicken ready. I got it in a bowl cut up. I had mine cut up into some strips. You can leave them whole if you guys like. It's totally up to you. But for the first thing, we're gonna make a little marinade for it. We're gonna use some stone ground mustard, and I kind of just put maybe like 2 tablespoons in there. I'm gonna write out a recipe for you guys, but we'll go ahead and start with that 2 tablespoons of mustard, and then we're gonna get a lemon. And if you guys got a little zester, we're just gonna zest maybe about like half a lemon into it, and then we're gonna cut into the lemon, and we're gonna squeeze that bad boy. Take it out, squeeze it on in. If you get this. Then I got like a little seasoning blend going right here. So pretty much all it is, nothing crazy. Italian seasoning, good old garlic, pepper, and some onion powder. So I got everything in there except for the salt, just because who knows who's watching their salt, sodium levels. So I always put a little pinch in towards the end before I cook it, so I'll leave that up to you guys. And I just kind of poured some in there. You just want to make sure it all gets covered. Probably about like 2 tablespoons again. And then just go ahead and get in, hands a little dirty, mix it around, set it to the side, and we're gonna get started on the next task. Alright guys, now that we have clean hands for mixing that chicken, we're gonna move on to the next item that takes the longest to kind of cook, and that would be the quinoa. So I just have some red and white quinoa. You can get some regular white or just all red, or you can just even do rice if you don't like quinoa at all. I just kind of do it just because, as you saw, my kind of chicken was cut up in strips. I don't, believe it or not, eat as much meat as maybe some other people do, so I usually use quinoa just because it's more nutritionally dense and kind of has a good amount of protein, and that's complete proteins in it. So I just use it. So feel free to use whatever you want. So I already have it prepared in a pan. I kind of use a thick, heavy pan. I'm going to give you guys the biggest tip in the culinary industry of cooking any type of rice or anything like that. Big secret, don't tell too many people about it, so keep it to yourself. So I'm gonna tell you guys right now, whenever we don't know how to cook rice, we put on our reading glasses and we read the back of the box, because the back of the box always has all the secrets on it. So what I did, I just put 2 cups of quinoa, and then or 1 cup of quinoa and 2 cups of cold water on top of it, and then boil, reduce the heat down, and let it simmer for about 15 to 20 minutes. So every package is different. So just read the back of it and just keep an eye on it so it doesn't burn. That's pretty much it for that step. And so while you wait for the quinoa, we're just gonna go ahead and bust out some push-ups and burpees real quick. I'm just joking, we don't have to. Let's get everything else ready though. Alright guys, now that we got the quinoa on the stove cooking, we got the chicken marinating, waiting for us to cook it. What you're gonna wanna do is get a pot and fill it with water, maybe about halfway, and throw it on the stove as well, and kind of get it up to a rolling boil. In the meantime, go ahead and get your vegetable medley ready. All it is just a fancy term for, you know, a variety of vegetables. So here, I'll show you guys real quick. These are the vegetables that I'm kind of choosing. Got some broccoli, zucchini and squash, green beans and carrots. So the first thing that you should notice is we got a lot of color going on, and that's exactly what we want. We got a lot of different type of vitamins going into this dish, and a lot of different varieties, which is good. So I'll kind of show you how I cut them. You know, we're not cooking for Gordon Ramsay here, so we don't have to get anything special or fancy. So for the zucchini and squash, you just cut it in half, cut one slice down the middle, and just kind of small cuts. And you know, if you're someone who's busy, or you're like, oh my God, Austin, I can't cook all this, I got a busy schedule, that's fine. You know, go ahead, get yourself a little frozen bag of vegetables. It's definitely a lot better than canned. Fresh is better, so if you got time, you know, find yourself a little bit of time, you know, maybe not watch that show tonight or something like that. But just go ahead and get all this cut up however you want, whatever you're feeling. There's no fancy way to do it. Always kind of keep your fingers tucked. Do not cut yourself. I will be upset if I see you come in the next day and you have a couple band-aids on, and I will feel really bad. So the broccoli, I just kind of cleaned it off around it. And same thing, just throw it on in there. And you can pick the cutting board up. And if you miss a little bit, hopefully you got a dog to pick up pieces. And then same thing, just once you're kind of bring that up, your pot of boiling water up to a boil, throw the vegetables in there. They only need to cook for maybe about 2 minutes to about a minute and a half. We still want them to kind of keep their color and be green, but I'll show you guys what it's supposed to look like in the end. So let's go ahead and hop over to the next task, get the chicken ready and cook it. Alright guys, so we got quinoa still cooking. It's almost there. A little bit more time will be ready. I got the oil heated up here. Kind of want to let it heat up to where you almost see that smoke start to come out. If you don't hear that sizzle when you put that chicken down, take it back off and let it cook for a little bit longer. But all I did was just put down a good tablespoon of oil in the pan, and I'm just going to spread these chicken strips out just a little bit. Want to keep it even. And if you have full-size chicken breast, that's totally fine. You don't have to do the strips like me. If you want to, you can just go ahead and do the breast. And if you want to, you can sear it really hard on each side and then throw it in the oven for maybe about on 350 for about 10 to 12 minutes. But if they're thin like this one, I'm going to keep them in the pan the whole time. And I'll show you how I'm going to do that right here. So I'm going to let this get a hard sear on it, and then I'm going to flip it to the other side. Alright guys, so now I've flipped it over, and I'm giving it a hard sear on the other side. It's pretty much about there. So you notice I brought some things over. This is what we like to call in the industry our insurance policy. So over here I have the onions and mushrooms that I'm going to throw into the pan. You could take these out of the pan, you know, like I said, throw them in the oven. But I'm going to conserve pans for cleanup. And I'm just going to move the chicken to one side like that. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to throw my onions and mushrooms in. And just go ahead and let those bad boys cook. We're going to let these cook for a little bit, and I'll come back in when we throw the tomatoes in. Alright guys, so now what we're going to do is we're going to take that can of tomato sauce, now that I've kind of mixed all the onions and mushrooms together with the chicken, and I'm just going to go ahead and spread those tomatoes out. And this is just a can of diced tomatoes. By all means, you can use tomato sauce if you want to. I got the no salt added, just because like I said in the beginning, just in case someone's trying to watch for salt or anything like that, they don't have to worry. And just kind of let it cook down, maybe about another 2 to 3 minutes. And once it kind of gets to a nice thick consistency, it'll be good. Just turn off the heat, keep it covered, keep it hot, and you can always add anything else that you want to. So like if you had a little pesto, you could throw it in there. You know, something a little jazz it up a little bit. It's all good. But my quinoa's done. I'll show you guys that. And then all I got left is the steamed vegetables. So let me show you how we're gonna season those up, just add a little pizzazz to them. All right, guys, last little step. Our chicken's done, quinoa's done. All we gotta do is get the vegetables ready. If you're good with just eating steamed vegetables as it is, by all means, you can totally eat them like that. But you got kids or something like that, you don't want just the plain veggies, we're just gonna go ahead and spaz it up. So, same universal spice that I had before, just kind of give it a little sprinkle around and just kind of mix your hands in there. It'll kind of give it a little extra flavor. And then by all means, I remember Grace gave me this tip, and it's definitely a true tip. Hit it with some garlic salt. If you need a little extra oomph in there, a little saltiness to it, garlic salt is definitely a good way to go. So we're gonna go ahead and wipe those hands up, and I'm gonna put it all together and show you guys. Nice, and voila guys, this is gonna be the plate that we got. So we got the quinoa, we got the pan-seared chicken with the ragu sauce, and our vegetable medley on the side. So we got a nice complete meal. If you need your plate to be bigger, by all means throw it on there, pile it up. It ain't gotta look fancy. Whatever feeds the belly, whatever keeps you fueled up. But hopefully you guys like this video. We'll go ahead and try to make more if we can. If you guys have any suggestions, or some of you guys are vegetarians, or you're vegan or something like that, and you kind of want to suggest some things, by all means text the Catalyst phone. Or if you guys are like, oh, we could probably use some healthy snacks, maybe we'll sneak in a couple more videos. But we'll try at least maybe get 1 or 2 videos a week. So let me know what you guys think. Let Debbie know. And thank you guys for watching. Hopefully you guys enjoy.